You are listening to the On Purpose podcast. Looking for the perfect escape? Step off the grid and into the wild heart of Old Florida at the Hideaway, a nature-based family campground tucked along the legendary Suwannee River just an hour west of Gainesville. Whether you roll in with an RV or pitch a tent beneath the canopy, the Hideaway offers 1,500 feet of boardwalk through untouched hammock, riverside trails to secret picnic spots, fishing holes, local springs, and a kind of peace that lingers long after you leave. Reconnect, recharge, remember what matters. Visit thehideawayfl.com to plan your stay. First responders, your strength, speed, and safety matter. That's why Veritas Athletic Performance delivers remote training built just for you. Led by Coach Matt Erdman, a 14-year law enforcement veteran and certified coach, our programs focus on movement, not just muscle, to boost performance and cut injury risk. Through the Train Heroic app, your training is personalized, monitored, and adapted wherever you are. Train smarter, serve stronger, and protect what matters most. Veritas Athletic Performance, your readiness is our mission. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's edition of the show, where you know it's our privilege to show up with you each and every week. We're into February already. I hope January was good to you. I hope the year is off and moving in the direction you want with intention, purpose, passion. And if you find yourself reflecting from a couple weeks ago, you're still in the middle, take a moment and enjoy the process. Remind yourself that the hard work you're putting in is for you and your family, and it's going to get you where you want to be. But we can't get there if we stop, right? We can't get there if we kill our momentum. So keep going, enjoy the middle. And this week I wanted to share something that I've been sitting with quite a bit. And it's a simple question. And it's one that shows up at different times of my day, different times of my life. And it's a question I ask myself. It's simply this: what now? What now? For the bigger part of my life, everything was scheduled, mapped out, and color-coded. My calendar looked like kind of like a tactical operation, right? Like I could look at it, I knew what color I had coming up, meant what kind of place I had to be in mentally. Was it a background investigation, a class I was teaching? Was it a personal thing? I could look at by color and know what was coming next. Every hour was accounted for, and every transition was optimized. Everything was about being efficient and optimization, right? Making my life as productive as possible. And honestly, there was a time where the busier my schedule looked, the more important I felt. It was satisfying to me to say, I'd love to, but I'm slammed. Can't make it. Just too busy. Won't be there for that. Everyone was busy. Everybody I was around had the same busy responses. But at what cost? What cost were we all busy? And as I sit with that, and obviously our lifestyle changed the last couple of years, I've greatly reduced how busy I am in search of freedom, time freedom to make my own choices and do what I enjoy. And here's the thing is, it's not just me that's made these changes, and it's not just a lot of other people I know that are like, wait a second, is busy worth it? There's actually research out there, right? A recent systematic review in a social sciences magazine talked extensively about the busyness culture and what they're now calling time poverty, right? A shortness of time for yourself, a shortness of time to do the things that are good for you because you're so busy. They're actually considering that a public health issue because the people that live in this busyness state have higher stress, more anxiety, more physical exhaustion. They're subject to more chronic diseases, damage in the health. And if you think about all the things they're busy to provide for, they're actually damaging on the way, right? What good is your busyness? What good is all the things you obtain if you don't have the health to enjoy it? There's another study I like that's called optimal busyness, and that's the short-lived feeling of being productive and energized and in control. Gives us a dopamine hit. It makes us feel like, oh, we're so important because we're so busy. So then we try to duplicate that and we overwork to try to recreate the feeling. which of course, we can see where that goes looking in hindsight. That leads to burnout, right? And people that don't enjoy what they were doing because they just put so much on their plate. They couldn't say no. They drove their self-worth from always saying yes to everybody else's needs and put theirs at the end. So when I look back at those years when I was always busy, it's so much easier to see it now. It's so much clearer now. I wasn't doing anything that was world-changing. I wasn't breaking records physically. I wasn't inventing anything new. I was just busy. Just busy. Busy enough to miss things that were important, small things in life that could have been important. Busy enough to rush conversations with people that I really didn't get to know as well as I could have or should have, because I was so busy to get out of that meeting and get to the next one. I was busy enough to rush my days, which in turn rushed your years, which in turn rushed a whole career. Not to mention the impact on the family, right? Busy enough to miss birthdays, busy enough to miss school recitals or whatever the case may be. You're so busy being busy, you forget to be present. You forget to make yourself available for the small things in life. And that brings me back to the very topic of this episode, was what now? For me, what now has become the question I ask myself when I catch myself feeling anxious, when I catch myself getting wound up about doing more of something. It's become a grounding tool for me. It's a way to put myself back in present Jerrod, not reflecting on what I did in the past, not looking back at the past, and not trying to predict what my future self's going to do. What now brings me back to the moment I'm in right now. What do I need to do right now? What do I need to do what now? Because it reminds me to listen. Maybe I listen more closely when Andrea's sharing a story and telling me about her day. Not just nodding along to get to the next thing, but really hearing her. What now reminds me to ask a question so that somebody that takes time to share with me actually feels heard and maybe goes greater in depth than they would normally because somebody made space to listen. What now reminds me to enjoy the middle of the run when things are difficult and I don't know how far it's going to go, instead of trying to just skip to the end. It reminds me that the moment I'm in, not the one that happened, not the one I'm planning for, but the moment I'm in is really the only one I can live in. What now has become my reset button, my cue to check in with myself, my reminder to be right where my feet are. And I found it to be greatly beneficial in a world full of noise, distraction, and constant forward pull, and the tendency to say, okay, if I want to achieve something, if I want to accomplish something, I need to do more work. I need to work harder. I need to put my nose down and do more. It's become one of the most powerful tools I have to say, wait, do I need to do more? Is doing more, what's the cost of doing more? What now reminds me to slow down and enjoy the moment in front of me. Enjoy the people right around me. Enjoy the birds, enjoy the bushes, whatever it is, right now. The moments in our past are already done. You can't change those. And the moment in the future are going to come, but they're not here now. All we really have is that moment right in front of us. So I want to ask you to take a moment today and ask yourself, where in your life are you busy out of habit? But it's not moving the needle in your life. It's not producing a different outcome. It's not putting you in a different place that you desire to be. You're just busy because it's become a habit of telling people you're busy, and it's become kind of a norm in your office, a norm in how you structure things, that busy is good. And where are you creating space to be present out of intention? And just notice what comes up without judging yourself, without assigning blame or man, I should be doing this, I should be doing this. You understand our growth is always a process. So just ask yourself, where are you busy out of habit and where are you present out of intention? And let that awareness guide your next small step of being where you are by asking yourself, what now? I want to thank you all for being here. Without you, it would just be me talking to a computer. So I appreciate you guys. It's an honor to show up with you, especially to have your attention for these 10, 12 minutes on these solo episodes. And hopefully, if this episode gave you something to think about, or if what now is a question you want to carry in your own life, and do me a favor and share the episode with people in your circle who might need the reminder too. Your voice helps the community grow. Your share might just nudge somebody that's sitting on the outside watching to become a participant in the community. Maybe it helps them slow down, breathe, and find presence in the moment they're living as well. So thank you all for being here, and have an awesome, awesome week.
And remember, team, life is far too short to live any other way than on purpose. We will see you all again next week.